Okay, so let's go through LaunchRoom. Lots of people have asked what it is, what it does, and why it's the best thing on the blockchain, or I think it is anyway. This is engines up. Let's get started and let's go to launchroom.net. So, launchroom.net. Every launch deserves a room. And what I mean by that is the absolute source of truth. So when a project launches, you get multiple areas, websites, places, Twitter, Telegram, with all this different information, and you've got to go and look. So the idea is when the project launches, an NFT or an NFT collection or a token on multiple chains, you can go to launchroom.net and claim a page. So this page becomes your room. So your room is now claimed with the dev's wallet. So it proves that you are the dev, you are the creator of the collection, or the mint address for the NFT collection, or the token address, and then it becomes the canonical source of truth. So let's go through it. So launchroom.net, and as you scroll down the page, it's the page where people find everything to do with the launch. So in one place. So if you claim a room, and I'll show you some examples, launchroom.net / the token name, or / NFT / the NFT mint name. So you can scroll down the main page and all this information is there. So it goes through the different type of rooms, the NFT rooms, the community owned room, which we'll talk about, the official owner room, and then unofficial NFT unclaimed stubs, and the same for the unclaimed community stub for a token. So let's go on to explore and we'll show you some examples. So if you go to explore, and if you scroll down a little bit, or on some screens it'll be there, so on my screen it's already here, you can choose, sort the search category into what there is. So Bitcoin exists because I've done a Bitcoin page, then obviously there's no other real things within that. It's just a Bitcoin page, and you can track Bitcoin using LaunchRoom if you like. So you can use Arbitrum, Base, BNB chain, which is BSC, Ethereum, Monad, Polygon, and Solana. So if you go to Bitcoin, because that's a good example, we have a LaunchRoom seed room. And the LaunchRoom seed room, which if we zoom in, we can just show it on the screen a little bit better. LaunchRoom seed room is, obviously nobody's going to claim that, no one owns it. So it's just a seed room to show you the what happens. So we'll click on that, load in the market context. So each page has got a loading screen and it loads into Bitcoin. So on the right hand side, it shows the current price, what the 24-hour market's been doing, market cap currently, all-time high, liquidity, the authority, and where the market data is currently, so it's live, and what the source is. So we use, on LaunchRoom, we create our own market data, not create it, but we present our own market data. And you can see that by scrolling down a little bit, we have our own charts. And each page can get this, or has this, and it'll only give you options for the charts that we actually have. So the data, what is given to us, you can only see. However, on top of that, you can go to DEX pair. So on a token, on Solana for instance, you can click DEX pair, and I'll show you that shortly. And it'll give you the DEX screener data. So let's do that now. So go to Explore, we'll do tokens first, and then we'll go on to NFTs. So we've got to Ansem, the black ball, which is obviously the most important coin at the moment. It shows I wanted to have some transparency. So on the right hand side, you can see there DEX screener and Alchemy. So we use Alchemy as our RPC, and we use Helios as well. So this one is through Alchemy and DEX screener information. If we go down, you can see the chart that we've created using LaunchRoom data. And it shows you exactly where we're at on the different charts and all the information around it. So, and the chart source there is LaunchRoom Resolver. So that means that's our own launch room data that we're using to create that. Click DEX pair, and then you can see the DEX screener information too. There's a bit of an extra utility to the page, and this has all the charts the DEX screener has, and you can obviously toggle on and off the transactions, buys, the sells, and things like that as you would in DEX. So let's go through the room then. So the top section is the market desk, basically. Now you can just copy the room link if you wanted to share that to your community. There's a link there to go to DEX screener. We'll open a new page and you go straight to DEX screener, which we all are familiar with. And then to share the room, we create our own share card. So this initial, the black ball is not the share card. There we go. It came up and it develops and creates a live, at the point of clicking it, data card that you can share. I think I must have clicked off that there. So then you can copy the image, you can download the PNG, or you can just copy the URL. And these are more options. So you can copy the card, download card for TikTok, copy the card for Discord, Telegram, Instagram, and X. And you can also then embed this room. So if you go to this section, embed this room, this is all under the share category, share room. And then you can copy the card for an embed. So it will give you there you go. There's the actual share card that you can. So as you can see there, it gives you the full HTML code to embed that badge or card in the on your website. So the card, the badge, sorry, would look like this. So it's indexed on LaunchRoom. It means it exists. However, it's unclaimed. That says unclaimed there, and so it's waiting for Ansem as the developer to claim the room. So going back up to the top there, so you can set alerts for this room then. So anybody can go into this website and press follow the black ball. So then your alerts will be tracked by your IP address. So every time you go back to this website, it has your the information that you've requested to follow. And you can do that in different ways. So marketing community here, the full room feed, everything, you basically get all the information standard, or you can just have it on quiet, so only canonical sources of truth changes. That means that any important updates basically. So you can connect your wallet to keep it tracked across devices, and basically it will show you there if you connect your wallet. You can save the wallet follow, you can remove the wallet follow, or you can open there our Telegram to get alerts. And so you get Telegram alerts, email alerts. And then finally, agent context opens a new page. And this is basically telling AI, so ChatGPT, Grok, any Claude, anything really that you use, what this page is about. And so the information is on here that that they need to see. And there you go, you can see it. So machine endpoint, basically the AI will read that section, this part of it, and it'll know everything about the token or the NFT. Just loading that back up. And so this is a free indexed stub. So anybody can open a page or a room on LaunchRoom and it'll become a free index stub. You can then claim it as the owner or can claim it as a community lead. So community lead won't have some controls that an owner would, but you can add several things and have it as a community base. So if you click on that, community maintained room. Use this when a maintainer wants control but cannot prove official owner authority on chain. The room stays labeled as community maintained, so it wouldn't say unclaimed anymore, it'd say community maintained. And that's all the details of the token itself, what you're trying to claim. So each page has a manifest, which is that page that we went on to before. You get the agent pack, which is that we showed before as well, and LLMS, large language model. It basically gives a summary of the entire the token or project. Basically gives it all the information that it needs, where to go for the correct endpoint information, where to go for the community sections. Everything is in that text, and on every creation of every room that is created. And so your project is then AI ready, agent ready. So the next section down is the live market context. Is just some updates, a bit like what's pinging across the top of the screen as like a live ticker. And then you have a built-in AI assistant as well. So you can ask the AI what is the MC and the all-time high, and it'll basically give you that information on demand without having to read anything else. The room tier is the next section. So again, this is just an unclaimed stub because Anson hasn't claimed it. And then the most interesting bit is at the bottom. So this can become a community place where you share artwork, create a bit of a bank, a library of all your artwork, rather than using a Telegram channel or group. You can create an holder-only space, so only holders can chat in this bit, which makes it a little bit more private rather than just on the full community pages. And then a community wall, which speaks for itself. You can basically share public information there. And then the final section is a little bit of fun. There is a LaunchRoom arcade where I've made some games and we can customize them. So I'll show you that now. So if you go to arcade, there is one game here called Rocks from Outer Space, and it is basically
New Wave.
basically an asteroid style game that you can play.
Enemy sighted.
Like that. However, my mouse is going a bit slow. You can basically customize the game or pay for customization for a game, and
New wave.
then you're playing the same game but with custom
Enemy sighted.
sort of graphics and add-ons if you so wish
Triple
for your
shot.
community. There's a little bit of a extra that comes with the LaunchRoom. And there's different games on there. There's some that aren't advertised yet. So there are a few different versions there of the outer space game. If you go down to the bottom and say what is a room, there's a bit more information there on what a room does, what it proves basically. So if a community runs a launch room or claims a launch room as a community maintained one, it gives an official space post-launch, and that's the idea behind it, really. So all the information is in one place. People aren't having to search all over the place. NFT rooms are slightly a little bit different. So if we go to the Body Yacht Club, which is obviously one of the most famous NFTs, it opens up just like a normal launch room. The website, like I said, is NFT/ and then BAYC on this occasion, and the details there. So it has the floor, the market when that information's been updated, and it gives an example of a NFT. This one just uses the first one, number 0. The details there of that mint, but everything else is exactly the same. So share room, it creates a card again. This time, because it's an NFT, it has an NFT sort of built-in badge on the card. But again, you get everything else further down. You get the AI assistant, you can community areas, and even the arcade if you wish. Instead of the chart, you have the example, and it automatically finds certain links that's connected to it. When a room is claimed, you can then add your own links. So on a normal token, there is no links pulled in automatically. It just does it on an NFT. But with any claim, you can add room links, social links, any links you like to the room. And that is the collection stub, as we call it, for an NFT. That is it. So that's the basics of LaunchRoom. The idea is to have that one source of truth, because you know as well as I do, in crypto, trying to find the information that's needed, whether it's a sound launch or not, is very difficult. And so LaunchRoom solves that by being that one source of truth that basically a founder or an owner can claim that page and give real trust. It becomes a source of trust for the community to be able to really, believe in what you're trying to build, and that's the idea behind LaunchRoom.